G'day folks, it's the internet. It's a must see and subscribe to Argonian here on YouTube, Bruzo Dragonius, also known as the online ambassador of Black Marsh. This video is just is going to be the last of a video that I'm going to make, or at least going to record in 2024. Probably wouldn't be the last one that's going to be uploaded that he's done this year, but this is the last recording of this video that I'm going to end up doing and all that kind of stuff. So I know that traditionally with this time of year I'd be out of script like I always do in most of my videos and all that kind of stuff. You know, with less editing and all that kind of stuff. And as you already know, this is just a reflection of my experiences of what I really learned and all that kind of stuff last year, or what my plans are going to end up going ahead like in what I wanted to do in this YouTube channel, what content I'm just going to, and some of the highlights that I wanted to, that I sort of remember in what I did so far, of how I'm going to end up making this channel even more better and better as I strive to become better and better and all that kind of stuff for you guys that are just watching this. And first and foremost, I just wanted to say that I did cover the TikTok ban that's over in America and all that kind of stuff, the social media ban for under 16s here in Australia and all that kind of stuff, which is very unfortunate. And yes, it's very unfortunate that Donald Trump over there, in case that you have some sort of Trump derangement syndrome and all that kind of stuff, I really do feel sorry for all of you and all that kind of stuff. You know, there's a lot of things that's going on politics-wise and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I did end up covering some political topics, which is the ban on TikTok in America and the under 16 social media ban here in Australia and all that kind of stuff, which is very, very unfortunate to all of us creators and all that kind of stuff. Even though knowing that I have surpassed this year around 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube and probably over 9,000 followers on TikTok, and chances are that I will end up losing these things because of the government, both in the United States and here in Australia and all that kind of stuff. But even though that I just, for the record, that I don't make these type of videos just for, you know, just to get followers and all that kind of stuff. Even though I'm very flattered, but even though the numbers do help, you know, just with other partnerships and all that kind of stuff, that I know that there's a lot of highlights that I wanted to cover and all that kind of stuff, which is this time, this time where I went to Furry this year, or whatever. Even though that I originally wanted to go up there for a bit of a convlog and all that kind of stuff, and I really did want to upload on YouTube my time over at Furry, I kind of end up losing footage. I mean, I brought both my cameras, with my phone and all that kind of stuff. I lost one of them, either in the hotel or basically, I'm not quite sure where or whatever. Just that with all the packing up and all that kind of stuff, you know. And it was like meant to be very much a full-on vlog. I mean, broken up into so many series and so many videos, just one per day, like I did last year. And there are so many highlights that I wanted to cover and all that kind of stuff, including competing in a Fursuit floor wars and all that kind of, floor wars over at Furry and all that. And there are some moments where I end up showing how to properly eat ramen or cup noodles and all that kind of stuff, because I ended up buying a cup of noodles just to have for my lunch and all that kind of stuff at my hotel and all that kind of stuff. I know for sure that I didn't get the room over at the Crown or any of the Furry Towers. Furry Towers is basically like, the Crown in Oaks. Even though the journey to Furry, I must admit, is a very scary experience, because even though that I had been flying, it's not the flying that I'm really scared of, to be honest. It's the weather conditions of the flying. Literally, I was flying 500 feet up the air, even taking off in this plane that I was in. I took off in a literal thunderstorm. I was at night, at a literal thunderstorm, mind you. And that itself is absolutely scary, especially from someone that had been flying and all that kind of stuff. Even as far as from here to Melbourne, I was in Melbourne for Convergence and all that kind of stuff. That's my longest flight so far. And I was just going there, and I was going to make this video up probably from the start, having the start of the title sequence in Star Wars, like, the prologue text that flies up, like how they just go right up, with the words just going up there. I was going to end up showing this, and it ended up, doing the vlogs, kind of like Star Trek, Captain's Vlog, Furry Day 1 or whatever, and all that kind of stuff. Chances are that I didn't get much footage and all that kind of stuff. I didn't save much footage on my phone and all that. So even though that it's a really disappointment, I know for sure that the footage that I got, I just sort of feel that it's not good enough for me. And if that much footage that I got isn't good enough for me, I'm sure that it's not good enough to, push that right onto upload it onto YouTube, because it's just that I'm one of those people that are just like, if you're not happy with your own work, then I don't send it around there. So I'm just trying to figure out what how I could just possibly do this. I could somehow make this into a bit of a hype-up video for Furry, even despite the fact that I'm not going to Furry next year, or less likely chance anyway, because of all the retro situation and all that, and didn't pay me retro in time before it just sold out on me. Damn it to the void. But I know that it's going to be a bit down and all that for me and all that kind of stuff. I'd probably, I know that they've just got to accept it, because I know that Furry is like my first ever con that I went to, in 2016. And now, but the thing about it is that, same with the Raw and all that kind of stuff, Aurora is now my new home con because of where I live. You know, I live in New South Wales, and Aurora, even though that it's in Sydney, moved to Parramatta from Olympic Park, which is, of course, it's way more easier for me to catch public transport because I need to like worry about catching 2 trains instead of 3. You know, that due to like I think that I got so much added better footage of Aurora than I did in preserve some of the better footage of Aurora than I did of Fursuit. Even though that the footage, mind you, is pretty much filmed way before that they expanded the metro line from Chatswood to Sydenham via Central. So even though that I did ended up showing some parts of the metro line that's not really fully open at the time and all that kind of stuff, but it actually did, you know. So I don't know how I'm going to put that in and all that kind of stuff, because even though that there wasn't much that I did recorded for Aurora this year, even though there's like Dungeons and Dragons theme and all that kind of stuff, and even though that I was with some roommates, that I just got to figure out how to censor the faces of those that don't want to be, you know, because I'm a very respectful person and all that kind of stuff, you know. So I've just got to figure out how to actually do it, you know, how to censor faces and that, you know, because there's some people that are just end up filming that don't want to be filmed or have their actual face, which I don't blame them, to be honest. Just that even with me, I don't even like having photos taken as a human, even though that, as you can see, I'm actually a guy dressed up as a lizard, you know, but like I said, you know, I'm not going, well, to break the fourth wall there. No. And apart from the cons and my experience and all that kind of stuff, fast forward, you know, I did have a really good Halloween and all that kind of stuff, a really better one, you know. They're just dressed up in costumes, which I really do like, you know, I really do enjoy it. Even though the next year for Halloween, even though that I did a Godzilla style video of me fighting the Crowborn Horror, which I end up doing, which is probably I wanted to do it as a Godzilla type style video. I ended up doing that as a Halloween special, especially with some other TikToks and all that kind of stuff that I've just done. You know, I've just done shorts of TikTok videos and all that kind of stuff. But as of next year for Halloween, instead of going to Furry next year, if I can't, the only furry convention I'm going to again is Aurora. But instead of Furry, I wanted to do Tales of Terror over in Brisbane. And not to mention I haven't been to Brisbane, but I would love to go to Brisbane because there's more better things out there in Brisbane than ever before. I mean, for instance, they just opened up the Louis Experience thing over in Brisbane, and I wanted to have a look at that or something like that. But I can't film any footage in there. Like, there's some things that I learned that I just can't, that you're not allowed to film or whatever. So I probably would want to do, I'm probably thinking about doing two Halloween videos next year and all that kind of stuff. The one with my ESL one and which is the one against a Helljack, and my time over in Tales of Terror in Brisbane. And also fast forward to this, even though that as for Christmas, I ended up having a really good Christmas, even though that it's just a family gathering, a bit of a breakfast and all that kind of stuff. I know for sure that I didn't get much presents and all that kind of stuff, and even though especially with the time that's going on, that's going on in Bethlehem and around the Holy Land, it just makes me think, well, I'm not really much overly hyped about Christmas this year, to be honest. But at the same time, I'm really grateful that I did end up getting some presents and all that kind of stuff, mostly from my SEAL company or whatever. I mean, especially with this T-shirt, which does say a lot about me. My perfect day: wake up, play video games, eat breakfast, play video games, eat breakfast, play video games, eat breakfast, play video games, sleep. I mean, that is so me, you know. And I've got this other T-shirt saying that I do have selective hearing, which, yeah, I do admit that I do have selective hearing. Sometimes, you know, sometimes I'm a bit too distracted, you know. It must be, I don't know, I'm probably self-diagnosed myself as ADHD, you know. But I'm not really diagnosed as ADHD, but you get the gist and all that kind of stuff. And I did end up having some breakfast, lunch and dinner over at my parents' houses and that as well. My parents' place, you know, over at the houses, right here in Newcastle. I'm not going to tell you what suburb because, you know, it's just an invasion of privacy, but, you know. But yeah, my parents just live a very short drive from me, even though they live in Newcastle also, just somewhere west, you know, the same council zone and all that kind of stuff, just the same LDA. So I did have a really decent Christmas and all that kind of stuff in that. And also, since that this is the last video that I'm going to end up doing this year, even though it's like, you know, 19 minutes and all that kind of stuff, I did have a really good, even though that as of now I'm turning a big quarter century, back in this, I mean, in the 31st of December this year, in 2024. You know, I'm going to reach my first quarter century. So, 25 actually. So, I'm going to end up putting some other links there, just my Amazon wish list or whatever, if I can pretty much do that, if I know how to do that, as well as probably something to my PayPal to help me out or whatever. It's entirely up to you. And to help me out, you know, my New Year's resolution besides outside of YouTube is to go and get work, you know, look for some partnerships and all that kind of stuff, you know, with the merchandising and all that kind of stuff, which I wanted to do. I wanted to do more things in this video, with some certain projects that I wanted to do, like for instance, I wanted to do some more collaborations. I wanted to end up getting out more, you know, probably going over to, you know, going out and do adventure videos within my hometown and all that kind of stuff in Newcastle, you know, just out the foreshore or whatever. and all that. So I don't know how I'm going to do this, but we'll see. So anyway, with me just blubbering on, I just wanted to say that I wish you had an amazing Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate. I'm just a bit open-minded and all that kind of stuff, depending on what religion that you are. I hope that you have an amazing new year as well. When 2025 comes in, I hope that 2025 will be better for all of us and all that kind of stuff. But it's what you make of it, to be honest. And so you're more than welcome to comment down your New Year's resolutions, what you did on Christmas, whatever. I just want to know, right? Because the thing about it is that I do respond to each and every one of your comments and all that kind of stuff, with the likes and all that kind of stuff, you know. Thank you so much for all of you people that were supporting me and all that kind of stuff. Thank you for all the subscriptions. Thank you for all the love out there that I received and all that, especially not only here on and yeah, I did brought myself a couple of things, you know, especially that inflatable Chinese dragon, which I really do love, you know. Anyway, if you do like this, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel, because I love you if you do. And as I found out, there's a bit of a small percentage of those of you watching this that actually subscribe to this video. I do appreciate if you do that. If you did already, make sure that you press the bell icon, so in case you wanted to be the first one to know, and turn notifications on. My usual social medias and ways to give me money and whatever is still on the description down below, plus more. If you want to friend me on PSN or whatever, my gamer tag is Bruzo21, or if you want to meet me in Tamriel, I'm not quite sure whereabouts, but as long as you do have a PS4 and and on the North America server, you would most likely find me there. As always, have a very happy new year. I hope that 2025 will be better for all of us, not just me. And until next time, until next year, I should say, may the Heat guide you all. Bye for now, and have a happy and amazing new year.